So Carly, here's the pattern that I see a lot, right? You start a solo business to have more control over your life. And then it's time to take some time away, a holiday, a vacation, whatever it is. And what happens? You're really busy, right? And you have a really clear idea how much there is to do. So you feel guilty when you take the time away. You're not really present when you take that time away, or worst of all, you don't take the time away. And I wish I could tell you I know all this from spending so much time talking to solopreneurs, but it's actually totally firsthand.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's funny. I think last week I wrote a post. It was coming after the heels of Thanksgiving. This recording that we're doing right now is early December. And I did something that was like, take time off, they said. And it would be great, they said. And then I said, and they were right. And I was a little hesitant because most people can take Thanksgiving off because they use PTO or something like that. They're still getting paid. Not most people, but a lot of employed people. And for me, it's like, well, if I take this time off, my paycheck's going to be smaller this month. And it's like weighing out the pros and cons. And it's a tough battle because you need that paycheck. You know what I mean? Especially the holiday season when spending can get so out of control for some people.
I'm telling you, it's funny because one of the things I noticed when I first started my own business, right? I had some jobs before that, and I started the business. I'm like, it's so weird. I don't know when holidays are. I used to know when all the holidays were and everything else, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm not noticing that anymore. Like, oh, in 2 weeks it's whatever. And I remember one time I was trying to have a meeting with this guy, and I was really booked up, and we're going through the dates back and forth on emails before Calendly was a thing. And I threw out a date at him, and he came back. He said, "Sure, that works. Should I bring the turkey?" It was Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, and it's so funny. We're actually now road tripping for a little bit during the holidays. We'll be here part of the time, road tripping for part of the time.
Harley road tripping. I've never heard of such a thing.
I know. Can you believe it? Listeners that don't know me, we are quite the road trippers. But in my mind, I'll work when we're in the car. I'll work before everybody gets up. It doesn't strike me to take time off because I figure out the pockets where I can get stuff done. But then at the same time, I'm like, but this is the holidays. Do I need to get up before everybody else? And do I need to work in the car? It's such a dance. And I think the recommendation I have for people is to take that time, whether it's half a day or whether it's a full week, just take some time to recharge and reflect. But I also understand some people do have to work. Like it can be a luxury to take that time for yourself. But if you could squeeze in any bit of time over the holiday season for some you time, go get a massage, go do whatever you need to get you more clear to start the new year. I so recommend prioritizing that free time because you will come back faster, more efficient than ever, in my opinion. What about you?
Well, what I've come up with is a 3-step process, and you see me putting it into action right now. And the first step is to plan for the time off, right? So Christmas, New Year's, I'm not working. I've got my kids coming up. We're going to have a house full. I am so psyched about it. So plan for it. So I'm putting in extra time now, right, to get a little bit ahead. You saw the other day, I was like, oh, I got to get more chapters done on, Solopreneur Business for Dummies. And you're like, well, we're in good shape. I'm like, no, I got to get more done because I don't want to worry about that when they come in that week between Christmas and New Year's, right?
Yes.
So that's the first thing, is to put a little extra time ahead. The second thing is to tell people that you're going to be out for a while. You're going to check out, and you're going to be away from the office, and unless the house is on fire, I'm probably not going to respond. And just, set those expectations with your customers. Most people, are good people and understand that you need some time for yourself and your family. So, but, setting those expectations in advance is a lot easier than, surprise, I didn't call you back. And then lastly, know that you're going to play some catch up when you get back. So if you take time away, it's got to be a little bit of work, but it's really worth it to invest that time before and after to have that really true downtime where you're not sitting there thinking about the job. So that's how I handle it. It doesn't always go perfectly smoothly, but I've managed to develop an ability to kind of take the business, put it over here, and enjoy the time with the family, which I wasn't very good at before.
Yeah, and I would say cut yourself some slack. Like you just said, we're not perfect either. I mean, I said, "Oh, Thanksgiving was totally worth taking that time off." And I'm still playing catch up and I'm still behind where I want to be. But I have to remember, like you and I were saying, some of these deadlines were self-imposed, even though we are very strict usually about our self-imposed deadlines. But give yourself some grace, enjoy that time with your friends and family, and hit the ground running as best you can in the new year. And Joe, I think that's all I have for today. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
I guess just that, that we've given some advice and people might be thinking, oh, it's not going to work. I can't do that. It's not going to work for me. Um, you know, if that's true, you probably need to rethink your business, right? If you really can't take time away, really take some time to not be worried about the business or working in the business. You probably need to make some changes. And more than likely, you're wrong about that. You're feeling it. You're passionate. You get some stress because it's yours, but you're probably wrong. And you can, as long as you prep, you'll be okay.
Yep. Could not have said it better myself. So listeners, enjoy this holiday season. If you are listening to this after the holiday season, remember it's okay to take breaks throughout the year as well. But that is all we have for you today. As always, don't forget to leave that 5-star review, subscribe on your favorite platform, including YouTube, and we will see you next time on The Aspiring Solopreneur.